There he is. He's freaking out. He is freaking out, rocking backwards and forwards. This is big news, mate.
This is huge news. This is I don't know. Evidently, Ken Golden says that there was some people that saw this coming, that knew it was happening.
Oh, really?
None of those people are in my DMs. No, it's not unexpected. It's certainly unprecedented. But at the same time, it's really, it's just a whole, like, I don't think anyone knows how to approach it. So let's see.
Yeah, it's obviously, if you haven't heard the news, and it's unlikely, but we'll quickly go over it. It appears that Fanatics, starting in, I think, 2025, will have, or 2026, will have the rights to make trading cards for Major League Baseball. It will be perhaps the end of baseball cards from Topps. They won't be able to because Fanatics will have the Players Association plus the MLB in their pocket. There will be no sort of off-brand cards will be able to be made. So none of the sorts of releases that we've gotten used to in the last few years from Panini, I guess they will be done as well. And there was from one of the representatives at Fanatics, I think there was it was mentioned that they also might have other players' associations or other sports that they're yet to announce. I mean, it's a huge. It's going to have huge ramifications potentially and especially if there are no more Topps baseball cards. That could be quite sad. I think.
Absolutely, it's incredibly sad. I mean, it was really sad when Upper Deck, obviously, you went off into the sunset, and it will certainly be sad when Topps do. I mean, regardless of the business side of things around it, the reality is that many of those brands are a part of people's lives, a part of what makes them happy. And I think that this is clearly a time where trading cards are incredibly sexy, and companies of the size of Fanatics, of course, dwarf Topps and dwarf Panini. So, like, there's always a possibility of something like this happening, and this morning we read that it is, and from what we can gather, and we don't know a lot, that I'm reading. I'll read here from the article. Fanatics have also had discussions with the NBA, NBPA, and NFLPA regarding their trade licenses, according to a person with knowledge of the discussion. So it's a very anonymous sort of comment. All of the parties are set to get equity in a new joint venture with Fanatics, as well as a possible portion of secondary sales. Panini will not be included in the new ventures, which will be led by CEO Josh Luber, of course, who we've met with, and obviously previously was the founder of StockX, which is an incredibly powerful platform and doing really big things. He's left that, and he has been working on a project, actively recruiting over Instagram, and we've been I've certainly been trying to find out exactly what that was. This is obviously it, or it sounds like it's it. That is an interesting space. Where will they go with that? Will it be additional to the actual trading card streams. Will there be more than one license? Will Fanatics pick up Panini as well, so that they can control that whole space? There's so much we don't know it, but the bit that we do know is that Fanatics create a tremendous product, that it would not be in their interests to just destroy the whole Topps sort of sentiment. Like, that doesn't make sense. Topps incredibly successful, so there's a fair bit of time between now and then whereby you would anticipate that there'll be some discussions going on as to whether or not Topps continues to be a trading card brand. We know that Josh is someone who's passionate about trading cards, so this is not, some massive global company that doesn't have passionate people that understand this space and that love this space and that want to do good in this space. So at least we're dealing with a company like Fanatics, and we obviously, conflict of interest, we do an exclusive product with Fanatics here, which we're actually launching the next one soon. So just check that out in the link, swipe up. So this is a brand that is a positive player in our space, and so I think that there's a lot of things we don't know that are scary and perhaps sad, but we also know that that there should be some real good come of it as well.
Yeah, I suppose with it just being announced, it's all speculation. What we're talking about at the moment, what's going to happen, and it's all, it's several years down the track of actually coming into effect, where it's passed over to them, or certainly that baseball license is. It's I lost my train of thought there for a second. It's certainly, you're right about the brands like Topps, like Upper Deck, like Panini. They're brands that people have a lot invested in. Certainly, if you've been a baseball collector, they've been doing those cards for 70 years. Some people would have been on board for 70 years. It would seem silly to let those brands go out entirely. If I'm Fanatics, do I pick them up? Do I just buy them and say, well, now we make them, but we've still got those brands.
Yeah, and we just don't know enough to speculate on the. I think that probably what this morning is going to do, it's going to showcase to people that trading cards are literally the center of our universe. They are huge. We look at them. We look at Topps and Panini as being absolute gargantuans in this space, but the reality is that they are very small compared to some other players at this level, and Fanatics is one of those players. Now, the one thing that the only bit of intel that I know is that the current success of those two companies is intrinsically linked to the caliber of people that they've currently got on board. They have had to mature significantly, greatly as companies, to manage the absolute challenge that this consistent greatness has brought upon this category, and that has meant weeding out people that are capable of operating at an extraordinary level. And is dealing with the challenges of COVID, the challenge of globalization of these products and brands. And, you know, we're talking about they're just non-stop answering emails and non-stop on the phone and having, you know, constant. I mean, they're fighting for these contracts every few years, and they're investing huge amounts of money to market these brands. Like, you know, we worry about what's going to happen in 5 years' time when Topps hand over to Fanatics. The reality is they're dealing with that with every single license they've got on a weekly basis. Not obviously not weekly. I'm exaggerating, but the these guys are high pressure standouts, and I think any move that happens, the person who acquires either of those companies would want to maintain as much of those assets as possible.
Oh yeah, that's 100% agree with that. The way that companies like Panini, Topps have managed to navigate, especially the last few years, with the huge increase in interest in the hobby has been navigated really well. So it would be silly if Fanatics are setting up a new division, I guess, a new vertical, and they weren't looking to recruit the best people from those companies.